JavaScript classes are mainly a helper syntax over JavaScript construct function. This one I'm talking about classes eventually act as a construct function. You just make a syntax over on that. JavaScript classes are an instance of abstracting away implementation details and issues of construct functions with the improved syntax. Life is found in layers, and more abstract layers of consciousness are simpler and more general. Classes. Here is the same, okay? No matter when we use construct function or object literal, object is not, okay? So normally when we use a construct function, we're just trying to create many objects of the same kind, like a bunch of students, professors, okay? And with construct function, it's not a very straightforward to use because that's a function, and it's weird to use a new function, okay? And so in start with ES6, we add the classes. Also introduce more features useful and object-oriented programming, okay? The classes like Java and C but different because in JavaScript, the classes is a syntactic sugar.
Thanks. A great baker. It wasn't.
Classes actually are construct functions. It's different from Java's class behind the scene, okay? You cannot think they are the same because JavaScript class are construct functions. What's the syntax for class? Very simple and look similar to your Java's class and have a my class, which is class name like a user person. And here in JavaScript, only one constructor, and there's a keyword called a constructor, okay? Only one. And in like Java, we use a constructor is based on class name, right? You can define multiple, but JavaScript only one, and the name must be constructor. There's no my class thing. And how to define method? Use method, okay? Then use a new class to create new object with all the listed methods, okay? The construct method is called automatically when we call new. When we call new, it will execute the statements in the constructor. So we can initialize the object there. We'll give you an example, okay? How to define class and user? Same as Java, but the thing is constructor, okay? Suppose here I have a first name, a last name, okay? Then here use this dot first name equals the first name, okay? This dot the last name equals the last name, okay? And if I want to have method, you do here like a set first name, like this, probably like this. And you have a first name, like I do first, okay? Then you do this dot first name equals first, like this way, okay? Or you have like a get full name, okay? You can do like this way. Return, like you can do this dot first name and space, this dot last name.
We have to declare the first name and the last name.
You are declared here. When we knew you are here, okay? So here in JavaScript, it's different from Java. Java here you have private something, right? JavaScript not needed because when we knew, see here. Okay, when we knew, if I don't give anything, then you're gonna get what? Yes, then you're gonna have what thing? User one, the first name gonna be undefined. Node plus demo one, you have undefined, because when I knew a user, this gonna become the user one, right? So user one that the first name equal undefined, user one that the last name equals undefined. So in JavaScript, you don't need to put it here, right?
So constructor is also somewhat similar to the function. constructor.
Uh,
That is also same as a function.
but a constructor you cannot call using user.constructor. Oh, you probably can call. Okay, but no. What's the difference between constructor is when we call new keywords, it will call the constructor, and for set first name get a full name, you have to call like this way, get a full name like this way. Okay,
So
one by one. Okay, lady first. Yeah,
Inside user, new user, and then inside parentheses.
that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah. Oh, you change your hairstyle. John, Smith, right? That's what we're supposed to do because just now what he asked is if we don't pass, what's gonna happen? So I didn't pass it. If we do, let's say John Smith. Here are the semicolon should be outside. That's what we're supposed to do. Okay. John Smith. Okay. What's
So like functions, the constructor also can take multiple arguments other than the defined one.
yeah, of course, you can put as many arguments as you want. But I'm not sure if we can do like this way. Okay. Okay. Then we can, let's try, okay? Because I never wrote this kind of code before, so I'm not sure the result, okay? Because no, the constructor is definitely called when we call new user. Oh, you cannot call. You see here. So constructor, they just the only way you call constructor is using through a new keyword. Okay. When we knew the user, it will call the constructor, and the methods. And the methods is when we use the object to call it. Okay. Oh, that's another thing. In JavaScript, you can only have one constructor. Okay. Suppose this one I have two, right? Java we can have multiple, kind of go override or overloading, but JavaScript you cannot. When we do, we're gonna have errors. A class may only have one constructor. Okay. So that's the JavaScript. Do you guys have any questions so far? Very straightforward, like a Java, right? Okay. But you have to think this is actually construct function. Okay, different from Java. It's still prototype inheritance. Java's class is not a prototype inheritance. If you don't understand, I will have a demo. Okay, I'll ask a question. Okay, when new John is called, here I only have a name. A new object is created. Constructor runs with the given arguments. Assign this is a John assigned to this. This is what this is gonna become the user. Think about when yesterday we took our construct function. When we execute a new keyword on the function, it will have this equals empty object. Eventually return this, right? So this is gonna be assigned to the user. Okay. JavaScript classes are construct functions. What can we demo? Here, we can take a look at type of user, okay? So here we have user. Let's have a console.log type of user. Let's take a look at it. You see, it's a function. So even though we say we are using class, but behind the thing, JavaScript still convert all the class into construct function to do. JavaScript class is a syntactic sugar. Do you understand the syntactic sugar? Which is a special syntax for us to use, ease our, make sure, make our life easier, because construct function, we always think it's a function, right? Okay, so creates a construct function. You can also, it's same, okay, JavaScript class are the construct function, but I still have a little bit difference was in the later. Create a construct function named user result of, is a result of class declaration. Construct function code can be taken from the constructor method, which means whatever we put it here. Let me show you, okay. Let me show you what's gonna be turned, okay, let me. constructor function. Yes. What's gonna happen when JavaScript turn this piece of code into construct function? Okay, so it's gonna just do like a function user. Okay, whatever the constructor, right? It's gonna become a code here. So the constructor have first and last name. It's gonna become the code here, and all the things inside constructor gonna be part of this part. Okay, and then what is set name and get for name? Okay, what do you think? What are they? Should I put it here? Like this way?
No.
No. Where are they?
That's the type.
Exactly. Okay. You got a prototype, right? Okay. And then set a first name equals a function and first. Okay. Then we do this dot first name equals first. And the same thing for this get full name. Okay. All of them are in the user dot prototype dot get full name. And I will just copy this. No need. So this class, eventually when JavaScript do, it's gonna become like a construct function like this. Okay, the reason why the like get full name is not here is because yesterday we talk about when we have, normally we share the methods, we don't share the state. The first name, last name, they are state. Can you imagine if we have we share the state, which means all the students have the same first name, last name. That makes sense, right? But for the methods, it can be shared because all the user get a full name gonna be returned their own first and last name, right? So we don't put it here, okay? Right? Okay. And then another way we can approve is like this way, okay? Then we have to use what's thing we have to using. We have to use this thing. Okay, put it here. Another one, like a console. Take a look at it. User.prototype. Because even though we say here is a class, right? But when just now, when we type of user is what thing? Function. Function will have all the function will have a prototype, right? See here, user.prototype. Can you see? Get full name, set first name, constructor. They are all inside the user.prototype. Okay, this constructor is a point back to this thing. Okay. Do you understand? Okay, good. Okay, so here, like a store class method say hi and all in u.prototype. It's not in the user itself. Okay. Afterwards, for new user, when we call method, it's taken from prototype. It's not taken from the user itself. Okay. Here we already said, okay, the comparison. You can, behind the scene, JavaScript will turn the classes in the function because just now when we type user, it's a function, okay? Bless you. Now, what's the difference and advantages of ES6 as class syntax, okay? First, what it is, first, take a look at, okay? Here is my construct function, right? And I ask a question. Can I call like this way? We have arrow? No arrow. Where is arrow? See here? It just those two are become, if I run in the browser, it's gonna become what? In the window, right? There's no arrow, okay? The reason is why, because all the construct function, they are a construct function, they are functions. Okay, I run it, okay? First name and the last name. I demoed to you guys yesterday, okay? This you got me? But our point for this user is I want to use a new keyword, right? The one way you can do is do like this. Let me can what's the index.html. Because we want to be use new keyword, but it's a function. You cannot restrict the user. Cannot do like this way, okay? But it actually is wrong. It doesn't do anything good. Okay? One way you can do is turn on the strict mode. Okay. And let's take a look at the turn on the strict mode. What's gonna happen? Okay. Construct function. Okay. Then our when I execute it, still no problem. Inside this one, right? Ignore this file. Okay, I already explained this for Faraday icon. First time when we open, the browser did that. Let's do. Ask the question. What's gonna happen? Will there be any difference?
It'll be error.
What's the error?
No, it'll be undefined.
You are on the point. Okay. Cannot set the properties of undefined. Do you remember? This is a function. When turned on the strict mode, this keyword will become undefined. And you are trying to assign first on undefined, last name undefined. That's why you have error. Do you remember? Demoed before, okay. If no strict mode, this keyword in any function gonna become window. And if we turn use strict mode, it's gonna become undefined. I demoed to you guys. Okay, just forget about it. Okay. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, but in class, we mentioned the class. Okay, is a function, right? But if we call the class without a new keyword, you don't need to turn on the strict mode or not the strict mode. It will or it will give you the error. See here. Class constructor user cannot be invoked without new. That's one benefit. You got me? You got it? Okay. Because I call the user without new, right? It will automatically give error. But if I don't turn on the strict mode, it won't give error. And even though we turn on the strict mode, if I don't have this thing, you won't have error. You got me? Okay. So that's one benefit of that's the very straightforward benefit. Okay, advantage the class over the what's the function constructor construct function. Okay. So let's see, error message if we forget to use a new keyword, even though it's a function. And a string representation of a class constructor in most of JavaScript engines started with a class. This one I'm talking about, I never use this one, okay? So let's demo this one, okay? We have to use alert because when we use console log, it doesn't call toString method. When we call alert, it will call the toString method, okay? So we will have a user here. And here, let's add an alert, ERT alert user. First, I will do construct function. And later on, when you practice, don't use node, okay? Node doesn't have alert. Make sure you run in the browser. Oh, my bad. Okay. Can I see here? There still is a function, right? It's a function. Okay. And now let me change this one to be the class demo. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to close it. And see this one is not very useful. Okay. If you see the code, that's not. But if you don't see the code, probably you want to differentiate it's a class or it's a user. Okay. So depends what you want. Okay. And the class methods are non-enumerable, which means that you can set it by yourself. Okay. It's because when we do remember the for in, and over it doesn't show the class doesn't show the methods. Okay. Normally we don't want. Okay. And the class always use a strict mode. Now let's take a look at the getter setters. This syntax is look like C#, okay? In Java, when we do getters and setters, what do? We have to create getter setters by ourselves like this way, right? Getter setters and C# or .NET. And this is similar to C# or .NET, okay? Traditional class-oriented language typically have methods called getter setters for accessing state information in properties. Mostly is for what? For encapsulation. Because here, take a look at one example. Suppose here I have an age. Does it make sense if I put a minus 100 here? That makes sense, okay? And also later on, I can also suppose here I pass, okay, today I'm like 20, okay? And then you can still change to be like this one, right? 9,000, okay, a master. It doesn't make sense, right? That's why when we want to have a control on the user's inputs or assigned to our data, right? That's why we have the getter setters. You understand me? And the same thing happened inside here. So what you can do is we can make getters and setters. So the JavaScript getter setters is you can use this way. Okay, traditional way, or it have a special one called get name, set name. And in this example, we also have another case here, which is private variables. Okay, first I don't show you private variables. I will show you the getter setters. Okay. Anyone knows .NET or C# here? Anyone know?
Yes,
Someone
I
else?
am. First name, I'll do last name. Okay. Okay. Now, take a look at it here. Okay. How to add a set? There's a keyword called a set. Okay. And this is your first name. Let me make sure they are separated. Okay. And you give first name. The first name equals first name. Now let's see what's gonna happen. Okay. Let's see what's gonna happen. Got me? Okay. I will have a console log here. Inside the set first name. What I will do is I just call a new user, have a John, and have a Smith. Okay, just do this line. The only thing I did is I have this one, right? Hey. Yeah. Can you see here? You see Stack Overflow. Okay, because we are keeping other methods. Do you remember that execution context? I'll draw a stack called execution context called stack, right? This will happen is because we are keep pushing the methods call into the stack and it's overflow. You understand me? So what happened? Hey, did you see here? Inside of first name, inside first name, inside of first name. This is what? Did I call did I call this method? No. So why is a line called this method? Exactly, from a constructor. What happened is what? When I call new user, we will call the constructor, right? The first line, when you have a setter,
and the first name, this dot first name equal this first name, it's gonna happen what? Oh, you are trying to assign John to first name, and then I detect you have a setter first name. Then what's gonna happen? This line is actually called this line, this method, because this first name is no longer the property called a first name. Is what? It's trying to call the setter first name. Okay? It's trying to call setter first name. And see? Inside a set first name. And let me remove this line. And take a look at here. I only executed this line, right? Now to get inside. If I don't have this line, you will see not you will see not this line. Then I turn on. You see inside the first name. That means this line calls this setter to be called. And how can I know which one to be called? It's based on this property, this name and this name is same. Take a look at it here. If I change this one to be first, is it being called? No. Only when the setter setter method name is same as this one, then it's gonna be called. Okay. And just now when I turn on this one, gonna have a Stack Overflow, right? Why? Yes, exactly. Because when I call this one, it will execute this line, right? This line will execute this function, right? I'll print this line, and this is doing what? Call itself, call itself, call itself, call itself. Got it? So
Function call, right? It's like a reference.
this one,
Yeah.
that's a special syntax in JavaScript. You have to make sure you have to understand in it to actually make a function call. Okay, if I don't have this one, it's a property. But if I have a setter, you have to understand this one is called this method. That's a special syntax.
Actually, we use for the function call. Right?
Yes, but the JavaScript, the getter setters is different. Like you don't need to have a function call. That's a special syntax. Okay, you have it when we do something dot, it will also call this one. Like this way, guys. I uncommented this one, okay? Then I create a user. That's a good, it's a very good. I will show you why. Because in Java, whenever you call setter getters, you have to make a function call. And with this way, the syntax is shorter. I'm not saying it's perfect, okay? Some people like it, some people don't like it. Okay. Okay, so if I do this one, we will see inside say John, right? Because of this line. Now I do this line. You got a first name. Inside the first name, hi. So even in JavaScript, without this one, you can see the syntax is the same as before. Like, oh, when we use object literal, when we want to change the value or add a new property, you do like this way, right? And with this kind of setters, you can use the exactly same syntax. You don't need to make a function call, understand me? That's the thing which is like a .NET, those language, okay? Okay, we haven't finished, okay? So the problem is just now we have a Stack Overflow, right? So what should we do? Then you have to give another one, okay? You have to make another one. So ask the question. When we do like this way, if I console log a user, what's the result? What's the string being printed in the console? It's a function, it's a string. What's the type of user first, right? What's the type of user? What's the type of John? Why is a user? Do we have a type called user?
Oh yes, we do have, you can customize type, okay? But here I'm looking for, it's an object, guys, okay? It's object, and what's inside the object? Any property? Not the first name. First the high, property, okay. First the high. The reason is what? The reason is what? Let's take a look at it, okay? Let me draw for you, okay? It's a good practice. I should say this one gonna be in the exam. Next time, okay? The good thing I'll teach you this one next time, okay? Let's take a look at it, guys, here. I want to go through this one, okay? We just directly new user, right? When we call new user, well, let me use another color. When we call new user, we execute the constructor function, right? Constructor, or not a constructor. Constructor say this dot first name equals first name. And the JavaScript will say, do I have a setter on the first name? Yes, we do, okay? Yes, we do, right? So this dot first name equal first name is actually called this one, right? Call this one, then I will say what thing. First name is John, okay? Console log, you will see inside the first name, which is John, right? And then this is what? This will become John, okay? So it's gonna be John dot first equal first name. So John is what? John is what's the empty object, right? At the beginning, okay. Then here we have this this dot first. So wait me for a second. At the beginning, okay. What do you remember when we have function user? Here we have implicitly this equals empty object. Okay, so empty of this equal empty. This empty object eventually will become John, right? Because we will return. Okay, here we will have return this, right? We will have return this, right? So now between this statement and this statement, we have this part, right? And this part will do what? This dot first equals first name, and this is equals what? Empty object. So then we add what? We add first equals John there, right? So after this one, we have what's thing? First equals John. Is it? Right, right. Okay. Because you have to think about between in the constructor, the first line and this one, and eventually return this. Okay. Okay, that's why the first is added on this one, not the first name, okay? And then John dot first name equals hi. Okay, when we see John dot first name equals hi, it's not add the first name, okay? It will call what? Call this setter. Okay, so we'll have another inside the hi, right? And then we will call this dot first equals what thing? First name. Do I have first name? Do I have first? Yes, I have. And the value of previous is John. Now I change it to be what? Yeah, exactly. Hi. Okay. Then when I console log John, you have first hi. Okay. Because we are Java background, we are not familiar with this set and get, but it do have like here. Okay. How okay, getter, you can still using exact same as you do. Because what's the value of John? It's an object. How do we get it before? Dot first. You see hi. Let me click save. Yeah, see hi. Okay, but you guys, when you have object, if I have an obj equals this one, how can I get the value of first? Obj are first, right? Now my John is equal this one. How can I get it high? John dot first. Okay, okay, and they do have getters. Okay, in this way, you can do what? Okay, when we call John dot first, first you have to also understand what's the difference between these two lines, okay? This one is do what? I assign high to first, right? And this one is do what? Retrieving John dot first name. So this one, when you have equal sign, this one call setter. And when we're retrieving, we'll call getter. Whenever you have equal sign, it means you want to change the value of first, right? It will trigger to call the get set. And when we do like this way, it will trigger to call the get. So if I do John dot first name, you will have this dot first being returned. You see, I have a high here. Any part you feel confused, you can still do like this one. You can do exactly same. They'll give you the same result, but you can see too high, right? But they are different. This John the first, it will call this method. And this first is actually access the property first. Can see here inside the get first. And last, the dot first didn't. So just a special syntax, okay. But now I have a problem. Okay, then first. It's a first. The first. The reason is because when we use John, or when we do first name or last name, what's gonna happen? Whenever you see equal sign equals first name, when you have setter, it will not create a property called first name. Instead, it will call the setter. Okay, this equals the first name, not create a property. First name on user. Instead, call what? Setter. Call which setter? Call the first name. Why call first name? Because here is called the first name, and we are looking for first name. Okay, and then later on, whenever I use John the first name, it's not trying to directly get property first name from John. It will do what? Trying to call the getter. You have to remember, okay? That's a syntax thing. You have to remember. Okay. If you are not familiar with this one, don't do it. Just use the setter first name, getter first name as Java did. Okay. And here has a problem, okay? Guys, I want to do here, okay? Let me do here. Let me do here, okay? You got me? Now let me change, okay? Okay, take a look at here. Okay, then I close it. You see arrow. First name cannot be empty, right? Okay. Why? It's because when I call new user. When I call new user, it will go to my constructor, right? Construct this sort of first name, it will call this setter, right? And my first name is empty. Empty considered as a 4C. 4C, it will go to else, right? Okay, this one works, okay, no problem. Okay, suppose here I give John, okay. John, okay. Here I give, oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Here I give John, right? If I give John, then I won't have any problem. No problem, right? Hey, I do this one. What's gonna happen? Error again, because when we call John the first name, it's do what? Not to call. When we assign empty to the first name, it's actually call the setter. Okay, you're gonna have error. Okay, we're gonna have error. Okay, so take a look at here. I do this one. So we expect the user's first name cannot be empty, right? Yep. I have empty now. The problem is what? The problem is what? Yeah, we said it directly because by default, if we do like when we use by default, when we have object in JavaScript, all the properties and the methods are public. Do you remember in Java, the first thing when you have setters case, you will have private string first name, private thing. Okay, so here we will introduce another thing called the private properties. And the private properties we introduce is only exist in class. In function constructor or object literal doesn't exist. Okay, that's a new syntax and it's weird. I will have another one called the age to do it. Okay, I will have another one called the age. Okay.
It's a quick question before.
What do you mean? Let me close this one. It's annoying me.
Can I go in?
Up.
The constructor, so we have this dot first name equal first name, right? So that means it calls the setter and it passes the first name as the argument, or
If you pass this side, we can do like this way. Yeah, right. So f this value gonna become the value here.
so without if you just call this dot first name, so it's not going to work.
Which line?
Without assigning f, if you just have this dot first name.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Then if I do like this way, it's gonna call this one. It's going to call, it's like it's gonna call this one. But you didn't have any value to hold it, okay? I'll make it to be, let me do like this way. Because, let me do like this way. Okay, it's you are more clear, okay? This is not optional, you have to use this, okay? For the private property, I will use another field called age to do, okay? Age, you understand me? So you can compare the problem, okay? So private property inside of JavaScript is very weird. The special syntax is you use something like this. Use a hash, okay? I'll give an age here, okay? Age, okay. Now take a look at it here. You got me? So I have a 20. Now let me print a John, okay? What's the thing? Oh, we have to declare, sorry, my bad. That's nothing, okay. This one, do you see here? Private field age must be declared in the enclosing class. This one you're talking about, you have to have the thing here, okay? this looks like a TypeScript. Do you guys, TypeScript must have this one, okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, printing before the each.
No. New user. Oh, doesn't show it. Okay, I have age, right? John 20 doesn't show it. Okay, so let's let me add a getter. Okay, wait me for a second. Let me see. Wait me for a second. Okay. The problem could be what's thing? Could be ULC dot my age. Okay. ULC 20, just a private variables console log and printed. Take a look at it one day. Let's go over again, okay? Go over again. So what to define private properties inside the JavaScript, you have to declare here, okay? And in the constructor, you have to make sure you have a hash. Hash means private, okay? That's a special syntax. Weird, okay? You have to do, okay? And then assign to this age, right? To this age, right? But the problem is when, see here, I passed 20. The problem is when we use console log, it doesn't print don't show the private properties, okay? It doesn't show it. It's actually there. How can we know it's actually there? Okay, let's take a look at this one, okay? Then our console.log age, you got me? Because just now when we access first name, we use John.first name, right? To access, now I use John.age, okay? And this one is to access this age, and it can only be used internally, okay? Yes, of course. We can set it. And here I was expecting have some, I was in number, okay? NUM, okay? To show you. And we can do like this way. We can have access control. If age is less than 0 or age is greater than 150, then we throw new error. Please correct your input. Oh, you can give more advanced knowledge, okay? And else we will do this one, right? Then we can do let's see, okay. I was expecting to have some error before. Probably it's not okay. Like 21, okay. Right. Where's my age? Oh, number, sorry. Number, right? Number, okay, number. Because some people get it from confused, too many ages there. Yeah. They don't know which one is, so I make this one to be number, so you know the difference, okay? ULC 21. Okay. Hey, did you see here have another difference? Just now, when we use the first name, if here I use this dot first name equal first name, you're gonna have a overflow, right? But when we use here, this is age, right? This is hash age. Originally I was thinking it's gonna compare this one with this one, it's gonna have error. It's not, it compare with the hash also. So they're different. So in this case, you have no way to change the age to be less than 20. You got me? Less than 0 or greater than 150, because you cannot directly access what thing. You got me? You cannot access it. The only way you can change the age is through a thing, setters, and the only way you get the age is through the getters. So this one will achieve the same thing as you like in Java. You have private variables, you have accessors to control. Yes. Okay. Any question? Yes. Why don't you do like this one, right? The problem is what?
Suppose we write Java, okay. We have to understand the properties versus statements. Some test.java. Do you define int I? Oh, we can do. We can do it, okay. But the thing is, suppose oh, this is called instance variable, right? Will this one become a this one become instance variable? But if I use new user, will it become a property of user? No, it won't. This is a statement. This is a statement. Okay. The same thing here. If I use the let in JavaScript, you're gonna have error. Okay. This one is called a statement, you know, which is a line of code statement like this. Those statements can only exist in the methods or functions. Do you get me? Oh, this is another difference between Java. Let's forget about Java. You got it? So you cannot use the let here because we are defining properties here. Do you understand statements? Which is have statements. Normally we have like a define variable. Those are those kind of statements. Okay, you cannot. Okay, statements are put in the functions.
Let me just ask. If we're to do the execution context, where would H be? In the global, in the
belongs to a user. Depend. Execution context is what? Is when you execute the methods, you're gonna have that thing. And this is a function. All the things you define here, you will treat as what? As a function. So it's not in the global.
So to be the function, would the H be in the TDZ or it will be in the, let's see, 10.
It's not in lexical it's not in lexical of user. Because it's not. Because those first name, last name, oh no, sorry. Those first, last name, and age, it belongs to the John object, and John object is inside the global. You got me? Inside the user, do you remember yesterday? I think Nada asked this question yesterday. I think yesterday Nada asked why when we first time draw this function user, we have this started name equals name, this started admin is equal true, right? And Nada asked why we don't draw name and is admin inside user or user property, right? Because these two are the statements. When we execute, we will add it. And where do we add? We add it in the John. You got me? So the same thing here. When we do age and last name and this first, where are they? They are not exist in the construct function user. They exist where? They are part of the property of John. You got it? Okay. So we don't draw it in lexical environment. When you draw in the John object, you put it there. Write some demos if you still have question, okay? If you do some demos, you will understand. Class properties versus methods. Class declarations create getters, setters, method in prototype. They can accessible by all the object created from class. Okay, properties can also be created as the properties of the object when the new object. This I'm talking about. When we have a class, here have some error. Okay, we should use the letter constant here. Okay. This one, first the demo here is show you the properties and the difference with the methods. Inside the JavaScript class, you can have properties. You can also have methods, but the properties is belongs to the object created, but the methods belongs to the prototype. Got it? Okay. So
we can use the same code, okay? We use a simple one. Let's demo one more time, okay? I will have one more, which this one. This one, okay. Let me call John, okay? Okay, I will just do this one. I put it in the console, okay? Use another one. I do like this one. Okay, so here, when we type a user.prototype, and you will have all the methods here, but all those properties, it's not belongs to the user, it's not belongs to a prototype. Let's say, take a look at the user. You can see, just have this class, right? You don't have those properties, okay? The properties belong to what? John, you can see. The John will have first name, last name, age, okay? And another one, here we demoed, let's take a look at it here. Ask the question. What's the proto of this user? What's the proto of this user? Function? Force. It's what thing? Yes, exactly. In the prototype. Okay, because we have another function, it always inherit from function of the prototype. Okay, not the function itself. See here. User, prototype, functional prototype. Okay, not a function. Class is also same. Class also a construct function. Okay. Class syntax. Java class syntax is just a helpful syntax over JavaScript construct function. We already see one advantage is what? When we use a new, when we call the construct function with a new, it still works, right? But when we call a class with a new, you will get errors immediately, okay? And after break, we will see another advantage, okay? JavaScript classes are instances of abstracting away implementation details and issues of construct function with improved syntax. Life is found in layers, and more abstract layers of conscience are simpler and more effective. Let's take a 10 minutes break. We'll come back for class inheritance.
Multiple choice region.
就做那个评级，也在加班。也我现在那个啊，你这个那对象呢？
没有啊。
如果他因为这里跟他
方式是主要是方式。Let's continue. So we can finish in the morning, okay? Now let's see another powerful syntax added in JavaScript class, which is related to inheritance. JavaScript classes add keywords extend and super that are abstractions over details of inheritance with the function, constructor, and prototype chain. Did you guys try after class, which has a multiple level inheritance done in function constructor? Oh, no one tried. Who tried? I give you extra credit. Oh, no, you tried? Okay, you can show me later. Okay, give you extra credit. Okay, and this one, you have to do 2 levels. One is you have to use object.create. The other one you have to use call and apply to make sure those properties in the parent also get inherited to the child. 2 level. But with the class inheritance, it's much easier. Okay, first let's take a look at this example. I have a class animal, I have a constructor which have this speed, this name, right? And I have run and stop, okay? Very simple. Run is increase the speed and stop is make the speed to be 0, okay? And I have a rabbit. So far, they don't have a relationship, have a constructor name and height. Now we want the rabbit also have the speed and also have the run and stop, right? One simple way is do what? Ta-da! I have a class rabbit extend on animal. Okay, so first let me write the thing for you guys. Inheritance demo.js. Okay, class animal. Okay, and I have a constructor. What's the constructor we have? Name. Okay. Hey, did you guys ever thought I didn't introduce private constructor? We have private properties, right? Suppose you want to like a singleton, you have to make the constructor to be private, right? How to do it? You can do it, okay? The knowledge they don't have private constructors, but you can have a private property private property as a tag there, okay? Think about it, okay? Not in the exam, don't worry. Run speed. Console, I think we have a console log. Please start name. What's the thing? Run with speed. Speed, okay. And we do have another one which is stop. Stop, which is just change this dot speed equals 0, okay? Then we just still have another. Let me just see. Okay. Yeah. Then I just introduced a exam question. Yeah, and you missed it. Okay. So how you do extends? Very simple. Class rabbit extends on animal. Exactly like Java syntax. And whatever you want to add, suppose rabbit has another method called hide, right? Then you can just add your own, okay? What's the thing? I just said console log hide, okay? Rabbit hide. And also you will inherit all the things from it. Now let's draw a class diagram on this one, okay? Let's have a thing called what's the thing? A const cotton, okay? Do you see rabbit here? Here has lots of rabbit, right? Cotton, okay. You know, when I talk with my mom, I say we have lots of rabbits. Let's share and eat. Add a new one. Okay, and we will have another 2 here. Okay, let's see what's gonna become the class diagram. Okay. No, diagram. What's gonna be in the diagram, okay? We will have what's thing? We'll draw this one. Think animal as a function constructor, okay? So here we will have what's thing? We will have an animal. Okay. Animal will have what's thing? Prototype, okay? Prototype goes where? Yeah. I'm using inheritance, okay? Here, exact same function prototype. Okay. And here in function prototype, you will have like apply bind all here, okay? Okay. You don't need to draw apply bind in the exam, okay? Just draw what's thing? Just draw the prototype, okay? If you draw no extra credit, which means this thing no need to show in the exam paper. Just show function dot prototype and prototype here. Okay. And this one will go where? Object dot prototype. Object dot prototype. And object prototype, one method you already learned, 2 actually. One is has own property, right? Property, okay. And another you learned. Because when we call alert, okay, it will call the toString, it's here. And here we have a prototype. Now, in the exam, you don't need to have this one, 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 okay? Okay. And here we will also have what? Prototype. This is the property, and we are point to animal.prototype. And here, first we'll have this one, right? Parent, because it's an object. All the object parent is object prototype. All objects, okay. This is a function. Function, you will go to this one first. And function actually is also an object. That's why, okay. So what other in the animal prototype? Exactly. You are better than me. Because normally I'll forget about a constructor. Okay, here it goes back to animal, right? And what else? Run function and have a stop a function, okay? And later on, if you want to extend on animal.prototype, okay? So we'll draw this one rabbit, okay? The rabbit, when we draw, we haven't introduced, we haven't explained, but I will draw here. What do we have in rabbit? Prototype, right? And then here to somewhere, and here we have a prototype. Rabbit.prototype. We do have what's thing? We do have a constructor, right? Here, Sam, constructor. You can point back to here, okay? And we do have what's thing? Hide. Okay, now the problem is these two, okay? Where did this one point? Guess. Okay, let me, if you don't know, I have answer. I'll do one statement, okay? I do this one, cotton, right? I repeat. inherit stem. They say what thing? Quote stop. See here, I call dot stop. It call this stop, right? They say quote stops, right? So now think about it. So when it call quote dot stop, this quote object. Okay, wait, let's add this quote object. Okay. We have a cotton, right? Cotton. Okay. Cotton first, let's just draw this prototype. This one will go where? This one, right? Because we created from rabbit, right? You go here. But when we call cotton or stop, it doesn't have error and it will execute this one, right? This one, right? So cotton, so I do cotton dot stop this method. No error, but cotton, I don't have stop, right? I'll go to my parent. Parent, do I have stop? No. Then which one has stop? End of prototype. So here we'll go where? This one will go here. Because code line stop, but we see it's this one is being executed, right? Code line, I'll go to my parent. Parent is rapid the prototype, and I don't have. I'll go to my parent. It must be this one. Otherwise, you cannot get to the stop. You will see undefined is not a function, right? And there's another one we'll talk about later, which is this one, rapid prototype, it will point to here. This is for static method. We'll show you later, okay? But so far, do you have any question except this line? Okay, well, very good, okay? No question, okay. Anyway, you want to have a question because it's not in the exam. So inherit animal by specifying use extends exactly same words as Java's extends, and also single inheritance. You cannot have extends, comma, animal, comma, something else. Only one, okay? Single. Then it will going to add prototype reference from rabbit.prototype to animal.prototype, which is this line I'm talking about, okay? This line. We will do the next time later. If method cannot find in rabbit.prototype, it will get it from animal.prototype. You can also overriding a methods specify your own stop in rabbit. It will be used instead because if we put another stop here, if we put another stop, which is rabbit stop, okay, you got me? Then what's gonna happen is inside your rabbit.prototype, you're gonna have a stop, right? Then we're gonna shadow of this one because it will be using the first one you find, the first one to be used, okay? Very easy, same as Java's. Often we do not want to totally replace a parent one because we normally when we override, we probably want to use some features, okay, some statements from a parent, then we add on it, okay? You can use what thing? Super. Okay. Suppose I want to use this thing and I want to do something special in the rabbit, then you can use what thing? Super dot stop, right? I call this one. Then I add my additional feature. I just do something fake, okay? Something like a inside the rabbit. You got me? Okay. You are familiar with super, right? Java has super, exact same as Java. Okay. You can override like here. You have a super. Okay, then you do something else by yourself. Okay. Overriding constructor with a super keyword. Suppose in the rabbit you have additional like parameters or additional fields you want to add. Then you can inside your rabbit you have your constructor. If we don't have here in my rabbit, I don't have constructor, right? I don't have a constructor. By default, it's gonna do a construct by default. Okay. If in the rabbit you don't have constructor, by default, the JavaScript engine will add this constructor for you. The reason why, ask a question. What is this one? No. Rest. In the function, if it's in the parameter called rest, this one is what thing? Spread. Okay, they're different, okay? This one is the rest, okay? Do you remember when define function? I want to catch the rest parameters. That's the rest. This one is the spread. What's going to happen? Suppose here, let me use the first name, last name, okay? So we can have 2. And our new Cotton Smith, okay? Something, okay? So take a look at here. A new rabbit, right? How many parameters are passed? 2. And if I only have arguments here, I can only accept only 1, right? And with the rest, it will give us what? It will give an array. These arguments will become an array which has what? Cotton and Smith, right? Well, array, right? But if I don't have this one, that means when I call super, what's gonna happen? These arguments gonna become first name. You got me? Which is the first name, we're gonna become this array. When we use spread, right? When we spread, this is gonna become Cotton here, 1, and Smith 1 here, right? So gonna pass to first name and last name, understand? So this one is a rest, this one is a spread, different, okay? Rest always exists when define function, the last argument is gonna be rest, okay? Anything else is gonna be spread, okay? But great, this one is the default one. You can override. If you don't give or give, it's this. If you don't give a constructor, right, it will give this one to you. Okay, and you can override your own. Suppose Rabbit has something, first name, last name. It do have another one called age. You got me? Rabbit have age. Then you can call super first name exactly same as Java, and this dot age equals age. You got me? Exactly same as Java. Do you have a question? No question? I have a question, okay. We'll have error. Must call super construct in direct class before accessing this. Okay. Why? The reason is because of what? Exact same example. What's the reason? Why I cannot call this in before super? The reason is because where, do you remember we have a statement called this equals empty object? Do you remember? Implicitly. And when we use extends, this equals empty, this one is not, it won't create in Rabbit. It has to carry from the animal to here. You got me? Yeah. Because think about it, if I create it here, right? If I create it in the super, when we call, here we'll have another one. Okay, then you lost this one. And when we extend, the better understand, the more like the official explanation is this keyword, when we have extend, it will never create here. You have to wait for the super to create. So this equals that the empty string is created here. Okay, in the child, in the derived class, it doesn't have this line. This line doesn't exist in the child. Okay, that's why we have to call. Super. Okay. We have to call super first, make sure this keyword equal this one is being created. And when it return, right? It will have this return, right? It will have return, right? Return gonna be carried to this keyword here. So you continue add the more properties on the object, then eventually return. Understand me? Yes. Okay. No question, right? Oh, I do have another question. We already have any error? No. Before super, I did something else. It's not related. Okay, exactly. No error. Okay, only you have to do, only thing you have to care for is before you calling the, you cannot call this before super. Any other statement is fine. Okay, let's demo this one. Okay. See here, I mean, we have undefined. What's the undefined? Oh, this is a name. I change to be first name, last name. Okay, this is a name. Okay, I just do a first name and the first name here. Okay. It's exactly same as Java. Java. This part is also the same. Okay, just okay. Go ahead. Yeah, anything. Yes, as long as not this, it's fine. Console log, alert, anything is fine. Just this keyword, which means you cannot do like this. Hey. Okay. You have error. Must call this after super. Any other statement is fine. Java, same. Okay. I explained. Okay. Now, static properties and methods. In JavaScript, you can have a static properties and methods exactly same as Java. Can assign method to a class function itself, not to the prototype, because without a static, it's gonna add in something dot prototype, right? Got me? Okay. So with the static method, you will add on the class itself. Okay. Value of this in the user.static, it will call in the class constructor user itself. Okay, not in the prototype. Static method used for function that belongs to class, not any particular object. Which let's demo this one. Okay, suppose here I have a static. How to do static? Same as Java. Add a static keyword, and here I just say what should I put it here? Animal has any static thing? What's a method name you want to do? Wait. Oh, let's do wait. Okay. Okay. Console.log wait. And when we have a static, and if we could put it here, if we put it here, where we should be add this one? This one, you should add here. Okay. Add on the class itself. Okay, because static means what? Doesn't belong to an object. Okay, so later on when we call this method, we do what? How we call this wait? In Java, how do you call this wait? Animal dot wait, exactly same as Java. Okay, so it belongs to animal. Got me? Belongs to animal. Here this is the same thing. Okay, you can article have a compare to. Okay, doesn't matter for us. Okay, because in the array it accept a sort method. You know, sort by default it's gonna be sort. Do you remember Java also have a sorting method? By default it's gonna be numbers or alphabet, right? And you can provide your comparison method. Okay, same thing here. You can ignore this one. Okay. I forgot one line. Do I have a? Oh, it's here. Take a look at here. When we have static method, okay, this one, right? Guys, take a look at here. I just have animal that I wait here, okay? We will have wait here, right? Okay, you can also call like this way. Okay, this means what? Do you remember this line? This line. I can call rapid dot wait, right? If without this line, can I reach this wait method? No. So when we have this extends this keyword, okay, you add 2 lines. One is this line, one is this line. That's the only thing they add. Okay, 2 lines. Okay, one is for static, one is for instance. Right, let's say static methods, static property. You can have static properties. Like here, I have article publisher static properties. How to access it? Article.publish, like Javas. Okay. Instead of inherited of static method, this one already mentioned to you guys. Okay. Here I have a static compare. Then later on, you can use rapid.compare. Same thing. Oh, we finished. Oh. Any question before I finish? Any question you have? Oh, I don't have any more. Okay. Because if you don't have ask questions, then I ask some question for you. Okay. Do you guys have any question? Okay. If no, let's finish. Java class add keywords, extend and super that are abstractions over details of inheritance with the function constructor and prototype chains. Okay. Today, how about we do like this way? Today, you actually will see assignment. We do have assignment, which is a huge assignment. Okay. Open. Okay. See here. The first one is, do you remember yesterday we have a linked list, which is using object literal or construct function, right? Then you turn into a class. If you can do the construct function, just simply convert, make all the prototype method into the class, define class. Okay, you can do it. There's another question which is a large, which is a quiz system. Okay, quiz system. And here you have lots of properties, lots of things. And after finish, you can you use this piece of code to test if it works or not. Okay, and this is you need to read the question carefully, and you have to do quite a little bit of work. This class. And for the quiz question, I did two solutions. One is using construct function, one is use the class. Okay, so I guess you guys want to take some rest after the midterm exam. Okay, so the favor is for lab 8. Okay, where's my assignment? Okay. Lab 8 is required. Lab 9 optional. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. Okay, because lab 9 is actually a little bit difficult. Do you understand me? Lab 9 is optional. You should class. Okay, lab 8 try to practice because it's important. Okay. Any other questions you guys have?
Is that this lesson's gonna be in the midterm?
Today's lecture is not in the midterm. That's why some students are not here today. Okay. And any more questions?
So,
okay.
Till lecture 7.
Which 7 is which one?
I mean, yesterday's.
Yesterday, yes. You only have one question. Oh, you have two questions. One is multiple choice. Okay, multiple choice is I give you a piece of code. You tell me the output in the console. There's another question, which is I give a piece of code, you draw a diagram. Okay, nothing related to the homework. Okay. Nada.
Classes, so that be available in final exams?
Yes. Oh, okay, guys. Okay. Class. You are going to use a class in the final exam because when we do node, right, we have to write MVC, model view controller, and the model is you have to use class. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I already forgot about it. You cannot use the class in the final exam, in your project, and in the week 3 lessons. Okay. But no static methods. Okay, just the basic class syntax. Okay. If you don't like setters, getters, you just don't use it. Doesn't matter. If you don't use private properties, it's also not a problem of me. That's a basic class syntax. Okay. Now, any other question you guys have? Ability.
There is no afternoon.
Oh, that's a good point. Do you guys want to have after class? Oh, no, okay. And definitely not Friday, right? Okay. See you on Saturday morning.
And very host 47A and 47B, okay? And if you have any question in the exam, you can always send me message on Teams, but don't ask me, is this one on the exam? Just ask the part you are confused, okay? Is it good? Good, very good. Then let's do meditation. Then we can go have lunch. Give me your name tags. Give me back your name tags.